We do. Well, I just sing "We Are the Champions" and really like off tune, and then you guys all like march on like it's like a wrestling show. Yeah. No one wants that. No one wants that. Right, you guys need to come up because otherwise it's going to be really awkward for me sitting here on my own. Right. They don't need an introduction, but I obviously like the sound of my own voice. So, first up, got Nils Jansons, who's basically won every major competition that's ever existed since the dawn of time. Wherever you like. Next up, we've got Mery Muñoz, the proud owner of being the only female to have 2 pro aggressive skates. Fabula doesn't count. The kids skate does not count. If you can't wear it, it doesn't count. Mery's got 2. And one of the most dominant female competitors of the past 10 years? How long has it been? 15? I'm getting so old I can't keep track. I can't keep track of years. So, yeah. Good luck beating Mery in a competition. That's all I'm going to say. And last but not least, one of my favorite street skaters of all time, Chihiro Azuma. Literally everyone here has won Winterclash more than once, right? As well. That's right. 3, 2. Okay, yeah, those are good stats. I'll go along with that. See, I've won so many, can't even remember. And then we've got Christian, who's going to come up, and he's going to translate for Chihiro because my Japanese is non-existent. And that's our panel. Thank you guys for coming. So, basically, the idea is we're just going to run through some basic questions. They're going to offer like their takes, going to take it in turns, and then going to leave the last 15, 20 minutes open to you guys. So lots of questions, think of them. First up, obviously this event is very different to any kind of other skate park event that you guys have competed in. And I was just wondering like if there's any like specific challenges or anything that is like particularly like difficult or unlike any other event like with skating at Winterclash. So someone grab the microphone and take first pick. Mery's like, here you go, Nils.
Okay. I think my favorite thing from this contest is that it's not like a line format, which is a jam session. And I kind of, if I'm in a contest mode, I'm always thinking in this line. But here I like that it's a moment that I can disconnect from that idea. I mean, it is a line anyway because we have to do lines. But I don't know if you agree, but it's nice once in a while, not always, but having a jam session grabs more vibes, I think, for this kind of show, whatever it is. Like, I think it's nice from my part. And also because I was making a joke that this looks like a political roller event, like we all meet here and see each other, and I don't know, I met so many contacts here for years that I think like when they ask me, are you going to Winterclash? It's like, when I'm not going, like I think like even though if we didn't skate, I think we will come to enjoy it because it's so nice to, even this little panel or the hand looser balls and all this, I think it's nice.
Yeah, that's quite funny you should say that. I saw Martina from Rosie's yesterday, and even though she doesn't work for Rosie's anymore, she's still coming here just to like experience it and hang out. And that's like, even though it's got nothing to do with her job anymore, and that's crazy. That I think that's really cool. Or like even Brian Aragon, like isn't competing anymore and still comes like year after year just to like be here, basically. So Nils, what about you? Like, is there anything? Because obviously you've competed in loads of stuff. Like, you were competing in the World Skate Series in Rome last year. Like, what makes competing here different, or does it feel different?
Yeah, it's amazing chaos in a way, because you go World Roller Games. It's all so organized. You know, the public and spectators is so disconnected from the skaters and the vibe in the skate park. So here it's all kind of you really feel the energy of the crowd, and I think a lot of skaters feed off it. I think I do. So I kind of enjoyed the show. You really it's a lot of it could be stressful for a lot of riders, I believe.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, does it make
because
it like
you never
more
know if
stressful?
someone's
Yeah.
gonna catch your way, or if someone's gonna spill beer in your eyes, or something's gonna go wrong when you just drop in. But you need to turn on this mode. It's like, you go for it, you hope it's gonna work out, and you try to put on your best show. I enjoy it a lot. Yeah, it can be, as I said, chaotic. It's not like, here's your 50 seconds, course is perfectly clear, you're gonna get all the lines you want. Here it's a little bit sometimes spontaneous, and as Mery said, it's a jam session, so it's a vibe. A lot of ideas are born on the spot for the riders and in the moment. So it's very, very special. I enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah. 日本語ですいません。多分2人が言ったこととすごく似てるとは思うんだけど、やっぱりジャムセッションっていうところがノーストレスで、楽しく滑れる。で、日本の大会でジャムセッションってなんかあったりなかったりだけど、なんか同じジャムセッションの大会だとしても、やっぱり観客との距離感の近さと、あと盛り上がりが桁違いで、そうだから本当に楽しいし、全然緊張感はもちろんあるけど、滑る時ただただ楽しくで、スケーターとも盛り上がって、でさっきもしかしたらニルスが言ってたかもしれないけど、ミスしてもそれで終わりじゃないから、やっぱそこに対するストレスっていうのがなくて、純粋に他のスケーターの技も楽しめるし、自分もそれを見てもっと上げていきたいって思えるような、やっぱり熱い大会だなって思います。
So she basically agrees with what you two have just said before. With the audience, same. You might end up with some beer on your head, but overall, what she's saying is that, especially compared to Japan. So in Japan as well, there is some competitions that have a jam format, some don't. But the big difference is basically, like you two have said as well, everything's just a lot more involved. The crowd is a lot closer. Other skaters are also closer. She really likes that, if you miss because of the jam format, it continues. The crowd is there to cheer you up basically straight away. Everything is just a lot more involved. Skaters, audience, and yeah, it's like, I guess it's the whole party feeling as well. That's part of it. You're really in it, in a nutshell.
Nils touched on it first and you mentioned it as well. It's like that, it kind of feels like you're in the middle of a mosh pit at a festival and there just happens to be ramps in the way. And especially when you're competing in the finals, like it's got to make it harder to skate, knowing the fact that your run-up is that narrow and you're so blinded. And like, even sometimes when you were skating the transfer, like rail to rail, there's no way you could have seen that as you were skating up to it. Like, as you're skating through that corridor of people, it must have been blind until you were like rolling up the ramp, essentially. That's got to make that hard. It's got to make it harder to do.
It's one shot, one opportunity. You're in this like special, weird, magic situation. So you're just like, drop in. The spot. You've skated before. Now there's a tunnel way to it. And you just make it work out.
I remember where it is. I just need to find it again. I'll skate as fast as I
muscle
can.
memory. Muscle memory.
And what about you, mate? Because obviously you were skating and you got really hurt, like skating the same obstacle, like transferring from the rail to the rail. See, when it's that intense and like people are cheering on for you that much, does it make it like easier to get through the pain and get back up and do it, or like does that like basically like help move? Because you took an awful fall and kept going.
Yeah, it was a pretty serious injury, and in that moment, I was like, I didn't land it. Like I was just thinking, like I miss it. Like I was close and I miss it, and the adrenaline of the moment, everyone like, whoa. I kind of know how to chill my mind in this moment, but of course the adrenaline is it's on fire, and yeah, I actually like tear 2 of my ligaments. So it was like the doctors were like, maybe the ankle went out and in, and I'm like, I don't know, like I was just like, I kept skating, and they were like, did you skate after this fall? I'm like, yeah, I actually went again. And the doctors were like a bit like, well, this woman, like.
I don't think anyone ever wants to hear that. We think your ankle went out and then back in. You're like, right.
But nothing,
Great.
I didn't feel it. So. But yeah, of course, the crowd and all the situation, and me being a bit obsessive with, I need to do it, like, and I think, I don't know, I was all in. I knew I was all in, and I just felt like I needed to check it. And even though after I landed that one, I was feeling like, wow, I want to go again. And Blake came to me and say like, hey, Mery, please don't do it. Like, it's okay. And I was like, And I'm happy that he came and said me that, because I was like angry with myself, like, wow, but I missed it. It was a macchio, like. So yeah, I guess the moment and all that, but it's funny because after Blake came to me and like, are you angry with me? I'm like, no, Blake, why I'm angry? No, thank you for being the voice of consciousness. Like, I feel like we've come many years here, and every time we come, we wanna just do our best and show to the rest. And I was excited because I had my pro model coming, and I thought it was, I needed to show that I kind of deserve it or something. So I just went all in. Like, I guess we always go like that, kind of, no? I mean, if we jump in the swimming pool, you don't put just one hand, no? You go all in, because that's us. And that's why we like this event, I think, because there's a moment that it's a best trick, like another thing, like normally we don't have best tricks, and I miss them sometimes, because I think it's kind of it's what our sport is, more like this tunnel vision sport that you don't, this vibe, you don't have that in tennis or stuff like that, or football. Like, it's like boring compared to that, no? Like, but here we have this connection with everyone, like everyone that is like, let's say you are going for the run up and you see all your friends and you're like, hey, I got it. Hey. This is what makes it unique. So I think in that moment you don't care about your ankle. Yeah.
You're a tougher person than me. I would have just laid there and played dead. Chihiro, have you got anything you want to add?
特にフィナーレで観客もここに入って多分なんか着地とかも見えない。あと怪我したりで、その時で逆に観客がちょっと力もらえるかな。2人は絶対そうなる。あとこの間の怪我したとこメリーがそのプロモデルもらったからそれでもちゃんと自分の力を見せたいとか、そのところはチーフロはどんな感じですか？そういう逆に力もらえるか見えないとか。見えない。観客から力がもらえる。フィナーレのすごいカオス。もう最後のわーってなるところが、ラストトリックのところとか。そうですね。特にいつもそのラストトリックとかの時にこう観客がバーって近い距離にいてくれることっていうのはやっぱりすごく自分のテンションも上がっていくしモチベーションも上がるから特にウィンタークラッシュは結構特設が他と違う大きいものだったりちょっと正直変なものだったりでだけどだからやりたくないな怖いなって普段思うところでも大会の雰囲気オーディエンスのその雰囲気でやっちゃうなんかもうやらなきゃって思うのがでも使命感とかじゃなくてやりたくなるで他のそのスケーターも同じように多分テンションが上がって普段やらないことでもトライできるし怖さを超えていけるのはやっぱりオーディエンスの力がすごいあるなと思っててで去年は特に私がそのラストトリック前に腰をやってしまって動けなくなってでも正直瞬間は、もうラストトリックはパスしようと思うぐらいもう立てなかったからだったけどもうそれをパスしますって言えないぐらいの雰囲気でそれはもちろん辛さもあったけどそれ以上にやっぱりこの見たいって思ってくれてる人たちに自分の滑りを見てもらいたいっていう思いで
最後のラストトリック3つ3本いけたっていうのがあったから、結果的にはメイクはできなかったけど、やっぱりあれでトライできたっていうのは結果的には後悔なく終われた。でそれはもう本当にオーディエンスのおかげだと思ってる。はい。
I might start with the last thing, which is basically the core of it. So in her case, basically it's the same for her. With the audience, everything just gets you to do things that maybe you wouldn't try normally. And she basically directly said it's a bit strange compared to other competitions. But so in her case, last year she got hurt quite badly, and she could barely stand because she hurt her back, and she thought she might pass on the last trick. But because of the atmosphere of the audience, she went for it anyway. She didn't hit it in the end, but that's the only reason she even went for it, because she basically used that power to overcome that. So yeah.
Awesome. I was also like, you've kind of like touched on like the intensity of it and having like the audience right there. And for you guys, this must be an incredible, like just really surreal experience, like especially when you've got like people at the side holding like placards with your names on it. So you've got like, Will You Marry Me and Nils Kills and You're My Chihiro and stuff like that. Like that's got to be like, as the person that those are made for, and like you're getting that kind of like affection directly like to your face. Like how does that feel from your perspective? Are you like, oh my God, that's like really humbling, or like do you go home like, or you're like, I need to keep my ego in check. These guys are bigging me up too much. What's going on here? Like as the person on the receiving end, like what goes through your mind when you see stuff like that?
Maybe just a まあこういうYou're My Chihiroとか、その多分日本で絶対見えないから、そういうこと見たら逆にまた同じくパワーもらえるか、いや自分はそんなにうまいかな、もうちょっとゆっくりした方がいいかなな感じ、どっちになりますか？
いや私はやっぱ日本ではああいうのってもうほぼ見ないパフォーマンスというか、だからもうで実際You are my Chihiro っていうワードをそうもらった時にもうすごく嬉しくて、なんかもうすっごいテンション上がって、もう決めなきゃっていう、むしろなんかそのネガティブよりは本当にポジティブな気持ちになれて、で実際あのワードが日本に帰ってからも結構言われることがそう日本でも浸透してて言われるきっかけにもなったし、なんかもう私はもう完全にポジティブな方でパワーは。
In Chihiro's case, it's all positive. In Japan, you definitely won't see that kind of thing. It just doesn't happen. But for her, it was all positive. So it gave her a huge boost. And she just said when she got back as well, we don't skate in the same place, so I'd never really heard this. But she said that people started saying it as well in Japan, in English. But yeah, for her, it's all positive.
Mery, you're up. You're holding the microphone. You don't have a choice.
Well, I also like this. You're my Chihiro. Like, but yeah, mine was like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And
so, yeah.
it was funny because I didn't see it until I was competing. So suddenly I was about to compete and I see these people. I'm like, will you? Like that's have to be for me, but nah, really? Like, and after I go and they say like, wow, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's for me, and I stand with them and we did a photo and it was very cute, and I say yes, and now I'm married to a stranger's voice, but my mother's happy. No, but I think it's super cute. Like they all do this. Like it's like for 2 years ago, I don't remember much the contest, but I do remember that moment. That was kind of special for me. And as you say, like after we go home and yeah, I go to get my coffee in my place, and I'm like, good morning, and they don't know anything about me. And I think that's the way of keeping it humble, like being nice to strangers. But it's like coming from a matrix world where everyone is super, they know you and all that, and after you go to your daily life, and the contrast is interesting. But I think that's cute from our sport because sometimes they say, "Oh, you're famous." I'm like, I'm like famous around our
Yeah, like
community
in
like,
this world,
and
like,
it's
yeah,
super
yeah.
small actually. So yeah, like we are not skateboarders getting stopped in the streets and that, and I think that's very good for our daily lives. So because we have, no say, we have both contracts. No, imagine being Justin Bieber and like, that must be awful. Like, oh, you see Justin, he was dressing like this. Imagine me in a normal day. Oh, Mery was angry that day, or they do a whole new about your face because you were grumpy or stuff like that. Oh, imagine that. No, I'm very lucky we don't have that, and I appreciate every connection I make in this sport. Even people I sometimes don't remember the name, but I keep them like I know they are good people, just when you remember the face, and I think that's very good about that. You can get to know many people because we are small community. So yeah. Microphone check.
Check. Yeah, it's a very humbling experience for sure. Feeling the support, and the crowd is a mega booster for the tricks. As you said, sometimes you maybe not now, but when I was younger, I felt almost immortal. You know, you're standing stage, the crowd wants to see the tricks. I'm here. You know, there's no second thoughts of is this too dangerous or no. It's just following the gut feeling, like doing the tricks I kind of feel I can do or no, I have the skill to do, and there's no even second thoughts of should I or should I not. This is the moment the crowd wants to see. If I lace, everyone's happy, and the boost is huge because Mery mentioned the football or team sports, when there's supporters for one team, supporters for the other team. So technically, they don't want this team to succeed, but here everybody wants to see everyone push the boundaries and do the best, Even the skaters in the pro finals, everyone's supporting each other and hoping everybody does their biggest shit and lands it and doesn't get hurt and everybody goes crazy. And you cannot get this in World Roller Games, where it's kind of limited to the potential. So the best tricks where you can actually take more risk, give more tries, is the chance where we can see the boundaries kind of being pushed a little bit further. And it's a healthy setting for this, I think. And some skaters enjoy being in this environment, and I think it's amazing for the crowd, and it's a mix, both feed of each other. And we have another champion in the building, the one and only Julien Cudot. You see, the real rock star just arrived.
Sorry, we didn't really
How
want
are you?
Julien here because he's not really won it that many times. Oh no, that's right. He has. You reminded me of something there. I feel like you've came here some years with the intention of being like the most remembered skater here, because there was one year you came here and you did the big rail. And you literally the biggest trick. You got everyone out of the way and went for the 540 alley-oop porn star on the death rail. And then one of the later years you came back, you went for, was it the 540 alley-oop topsoul? I feel like in your head you plan it out and you're like, I'm going to give these guys a show.
Like everything I've kind of achieved and where I've been, like Winterclash has played super big role helping to kind of step on the stage. Starting from 2007, being on a big contest, is as well. Nobody knew me, so I just had to go as crazy as I can to hopefully somebody sees. But that was never the point, to try to, I don't know, get a sponsor or win the contest. It was just to go as crazy as I can and hopefully land these tricks. And because I just enjoyed doing that stuff. And if it got rewarded with eventually some little bit prize money, sponsorships, that was amazing. And Winterclash was one of the big reasons why my professional career kind of succeeded, and it was a nice stepping stones at the beginning. So, but never intention to kind of do this so there's some certain result out of it. It's like, I think I can do this here and it would be pretty crazy, so I might give it a go. That's kind of more.
Okay. Right, Julien, now that you're here, you have to answer 10 questions in a row. Just
Okay,
you.
okay,
It's
let's
all
go, let's
about
go.
you. We're just talking about the interaction with like the crowd and how like when they have signs up with your name on it, it's got to make you feel quite special. Last year you came here and all the guys were dressed like you and had a sign, what goes through your head when you? That must be crazy to you. You're like, there's a bunch of guys that look like me. And
That was crazy. I didn't expect that at all. And luckily, I had one of those crew neck in my luggage. But some people told me, hey, the guys, they're dressed like you this year. Because I was still at the hotel, so I learned by my friends. So I was like, oh, okay, I hope I have one of those, you know. And I was one of those in my bag, so I just run into them, and I was the same. I was exactly the same on the same day. And yeah, they even had some cigs and stuff. So I was trying to stop smoking at this time, but I said, oh, today I'm gonna smoke for sure with the guys. That was amazing. That's kind of an accomplishment, I think, to have it. You know, it's like, what the fuck, me? Okay, I'm in the crew now.
Yeah, they're all going to dress like Mery this year. They're all in black and yellow, and they've all got ponytails. That's it. I made that up. I don't know that. That's not true.
I believe you.
Someone guessed Cameron Talbot. I would like to see them all dressed as Robbie Pitts. Actually, I think that would be awesome. I was also asking, like, does it feel weird when you come here and it's basically like you're famous and everyone knows you and you've got these guys dressing up with you as you and like having signs and stuff like that, and then like it gets to Monday and you're back home and you're like, oh, no one cares. No one knows who I am here. All right, you just like you walk down the street, you're like, no one's stopping me. This is.
I know
it's like
what you
weird
mean.
to go like from like one extreme to the other.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it always feels like of the normal because we've been we are a small community, so that's one of the advantages. Like as soon as you start to be good or have some potential to be seen, then people starts to know you and cheer for you and recognize you everywhere. So it's it's part of it, but you gotta keep in mind it's inline skating and nobody cares out there, you know. So once you're out of the skate park, so it helps to keep your heads cooler, you know.
Keeps you humble. Keeps you humble.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's right.
But that's one other cool thing about being one of the smallest recognized extreme sports. I mean, you know, like it's not skateboarders or BMX. Right? You can be good, but to be as good as people start to recognize you at the skate park or stuff like that, or just when you're traveling, you're a skater, inline skater, even if you're not famous or pro, people are gonna welcome you because you're just an inline skater and there's not so much out there. But if you're a skateboarder and you show off at the skate park, they're gonna be like, okay, cool for you, you know. There's 1,000 of us like here. It's not the same with inline skating. Two benefits of being small community in the growing.
Right. Got one last question. Then you guys, I'll go through the crowd and you guys can all take turns asking questions. You've all won it more than once. Is there like any standout memory or like particular year when you won that's like that stands out for you? Or I don't know, maybe you're in the final and there's like a significant memory or a particular trick? Or is there like anything you can remember from like your winning year or years that is like was really special to you or like meant more for a particular reason?
Without trying to think about it, what's come to my mind is Berlin. And I think it's because it's the first Winterclash I won. And I was thinking about if I had to answer how to win Winterclash. And that's a good example because at this time I was entering pro comp for a couple years and I probably won one or two. So in the logic, I knew I could win it, but Winterclash is such an apart event that you know, everybody's favorite skater is gonna be there, and their own favorite skater is gonna be there too. So you can have style, you can have tricks. You better forget about winning it because everybody's there. You could have potential and just going through because there's so much talent out there. So that was my state of mind when I went there, and I was just like, I'm gonna do my things, and that's what you gotta do. You know, do your things, and probably above. You might go to the final, and then you have to let the atmosphere talk because Winterclash is a lot about the energy and the atmosphere. You know, often it feels like this year it's gonna be this guy because the energy is such around, and it pushed the guy to the tricks, and it's an apart event where you can witness that. So yeah, Berlin is a big memory because it went so fast, and I'm a competitor since day one, so every comp I enter is to win, but there's some comp you gotta forget. You gotta forget about it to get it, and Winterclash is one of them. And this year I was just throwing it, semi-final, final. I got hurt, I kept going, and it just blew my mind. And then I was there on the top spot of the podium for the first time, not even thinking about it before, you know. So that's the memories who came to my mind right away.
And then you just kept coming back and stealing first place from everyone. Ridiculous. Does anyone else remember, like, have like any significant memories or like special things from like a year that you've won that you're like, whoa?
What?
Anyway, I thought you were going. Sorry. 大切なトリックとかこの瞬間今年。いやそのね特設な思い出。
やっぱり一番思い出に残ってるのは初めて私がウィンタークラッシュに参加したのが、2011の多分、14歳の時でまだ、おそらく、日本人が誰もウィンタークラッシュに出たことがなかった時で父親と2人で来てもう右も左も分からないまま来てでもとにかくチャレンジだと思ってたから何のプレッシャーもなく滑ってできることをもうただ楽しくバーって滑ってたら優勝できたで、優勝したよっていうのがやっぱ日本でもすごくニュースになってでそれがきっかけで次の年から日本人がすごく参加するようになったからそのきっかけ作りになれたっていうところとあとは自分もまだ14歳だったから他の大会とかまだ名前も売れてないっていう時にやっぱり千尋っていう名前を知ってもらえたあと日本人のスケーターがウィンタークラッシュっていうこの大きい素晴らしい大会に、参戦するきっかけになれたっていうところでやっぱりその14歳の時の2011年の大会が一番すごく記憶に残ってる。
For Chihiro, it's the first year she ever came here, which was 2011. She was 14, and she was apparently the first Japanese skater to ever skate at Winterclash. So that for her alone was incredibly special. But also afterwards, coming back to Japan and basically having Japanese skaters pay more attention to what's going on in Europe, this contest, and basically, yeah, not only starting a trend, you could say, because especially if you check this year, there's a lot of Japanese skaters you better watch out for. But yeah, that was her most special moment. And of course, at 14, yeah, it's a big impression. その時も初ヨーロッパじゃないですか。初海外Oh, okay. So it wasn't her first time in Europe, but her second time after Jansons' invitation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mery, you're up.
Well, one of my favorite things was actually skating with Chihiro at the beginning because we didn't get to see each other, and you are my inspiration, and it was a pleasure to see her every year here. Although some of the years she didn't come, I won, so that's. But that was
So stop coming.
Sometimes I think she was doing it on purpose.
That's how you win it, yeah.
Yeah, I think like maybe she's doing like okay, this year I live with Mery. No, but my favorite thing about one of these, I don't know if I won the first time. I think yes, was because I did like a soul to transfer to UFO. And I wanted to do Royal, and after I see the video, I mean, I laced it, but I see the video, and I was like, wow, that must be the most ugly UFO I've done in my life. Like, so, but it was the last trick, and I think it was the first time a girl was doing a transfer. So I was like, that's what I wanted to prove, that, you know, no girl was doing transfer, and I was like, this is missing in the sport, so I think I can go for it. So I think it was 2 years after I came, and I remember this last trick, and I won that year, but I felt that it was like missing something. So the next year there was another transfer, and I was with Montre, and Montre was helping me, and I think, Montre, do you think I can do this? And she's like, yeah, just try it now, blah, blah. So after...
Montre's the worst person to ask. He's going to go, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, but he convinced you to do it, like, and he's like, yeah, Mery, you got it. I'm like, you think? Like, so I changed the trick from soul to UFO, to top soul, to a nice Royal. That year I got to do all the tricks in the run and in the jump session. And after I did this trick, and I felt like, oh, this one, yes, this one I like it. So in the end, it's because in the end we are skating for ourselves, no? And if you feel like maybe you won, but maybe you feel like something from your personal opinion you could have make it a bit better. That's like my personal challenge, to do it better every time, every year, every contest or every session, even though. So for me that was special, because the first year also I got a very crazy slam. Like one of the kickers pushed me away, and I did like a super massive scorpion. And I remember the Netherlands TV put that video in her website, so it got like millions of views. And I was like, I'm in Netherlands news, what the? And
Getting hurt.
getting hurt again.
Thanks
I'm
for
like,
that. Couldn't have used one of the tricks. No, yeah.
No, they used the slam, and actually that was on Friday, and everyone was texting me if I was in the hospital, and I'm like, no man, I'm okay. Like it's wood, you know, like we skate in the concrete, and this is wood, and although it looks like a bad slam, it's like it's not concrete, so you kind of boing a little bit, no? So yeah, so from getting a lot of messages that, are you in the hospital because we saw the slam, blah blah blah, and the next day I felt very good to win it, because personally I didn't want to be that girl that fell. I didn't want to be known because of that. I felt like I have to. So in the end, this is a contest for everyone. We get the vibe from everyone, but also we are challenging ourselves in many ways, as Nils said. Like also Winterclash is a very big part of my skating, because every year I came here, I grab a lot of motivation. And actually, I came back to skating after a long period. When I was 17, I stopped skating because I went crazy in life, and suddenly someone told me, like, just come to Winterclash. I'm like, well, I haven't skated in 1 year, and I went to the contest, and I saw Fallon Hefferman, which I was very fan of in that moment, and also you. And so it was like, wow, so many cool people, and this year I did good, and I think I reconnect with the sport thanks to that Winterclash. Not because I got a podium, just because I understood that maybe I was a bit good in something. So it also made me go back to skating. So it's also special for that. So. Winterclash. And I have a tattoo of Winterclash.
That's commitment. Right, Nils, you're up.
Nice. About not thinking too much detail. The memorable moments has to be some of the final tricks, probably, of the finals. Either if I've won it or I've got second or third. It's just a huge collective energy that is kind of all towards you landing that trick, and you better not disappoint the whole building. So I'm not thinking that in the moment, but of course you kind of, the energy naturally uplifts you and kind of encourages and kind of boosts you to maybe have a little bit extra superpowers than you would have if you just skated with your homies in the park. So it's for sure always a special moment that stays more clear in the memory than maybe the whole jam session, which is just jamming and skating around and doing the tricks. So I think also 2018, I know when I think my final Winterclash on Rams, where I also was the final rider of the finals and final attempt, and only after I thought it would be such a disappointment to have the last rider of the Winterclash Pro Finals and not landing the final trick. And that hype was such a nice, thing. I didn't feel good about just my trick, but that, everybody finished the pro contest on a very positive experience. And I feel like it's, my kind of chance to cheer people up sometimes, doing some tricks. So I feel very humbled on the experience, that I get to do it. I don't have to be there skating, but very humbled to step on skates and skate the Winterclash course every year.
Nice. Julien, I've got one for you. Have you got any tactics I feel like every time I come here I see you skating like a madman on the Thursday night, and I'm like, why is he not saving any energy for and I feel like you're just charging around the court, even when you're just skating the pre-session, you're skating it like it's a contest. You're still doing the hardest tricks or like the scariest tricks? See, when you enter the contest, are you like, right? I'll hold some stuff back. I'll play it safe to get into the final. Or are you just like, no, this is war. I'm like the comp started. I'm killing everyone here. That's what's happening. There's no taking it easy. Like, what do you in this contest or any contest? Like, what's your approach to it?
Yeah, so it's about my approach on the course before the comp, right? So
just in like in terms of like qualifying to make sure you get into the final, and then like guaranteeing like you get on the podium, like if you land everything essentially.
Yeah, making it to the final at Winterclash is really something for anybody. There's a lot of comps like you're not sure you're gonna be in final, but if you skate just decent, you know your level will be enough to be in final. That's not the case with Winterclash, as I said before. So yeah, for everybody, even the top pro competitor skaters, you have to think smart. Either to get lucky, as I was saying before, and just bet on the energy and landing your tricks, or being smart and do tricks that you. On my side, what I do for qualifications is I try to start with a big stunt that gonna bring eyes on me, and hopefully after that they keep their eyes on me. So the judge does, and so the atmosphere starting to get create, and then yeah, you just need to, I would say, get the attention. That's my first plan, and then save some tricks, like secure some tricks, not save, secure some I don't know 3-4 quiet good stunts, and then just try to let it go with the flow and add some more specific different type of moves, so you can show you can do anything. And yeah, that's the part for the qualification. And you were talking about the Thursday night session and like the training, and it's I didn't used to do that, but now I think about some specific stunts right since I start to watch the plans of the skate park, and I know some of them are doable, but they won't be doable if I do not try them before. And it's like, I don't know, it's very specific, like the ramps are very specific, so the tricks is very specific. It includes some transitions, some grinds, some spins. So I need to try it in the training. Sometimes I don't want to, because it requires a lot of energy and being brave, like the energy you get in the final, but you doesn't get it in the training. But I know I would not dare throw it first go in the final, so I need to do it right now when I'm almost not as juiced as when the comp starts. So that's the hard part about it, is handling it without getting too juiced and ruin your body before the comps even starts. And that's almost what I did again, and that's why I forget. I think because this morning I didn't hurt myself, but my groins are getting pretty sore and inflamed. So I was just focusing on just resting and getting better, and that's why I forget about the talk. I'm sorry again, everyone. But yeah, I'm not sure if I answered the question, but I tried to do a little process of my mindset.
Also, you're giving everyone ideas on the Thursday night. They're like, look at him grinding that barrier. Maybe I should try that barrier. No, I'm not trying that barrier. That's psycho. Right, I've asked enough questions. Who's got questions for these guys? Stick up your hand. No, don't make me keep talking. No one wants that. There we go.
Thank you. First of all, massive thank you to all of you. You're amazing. I think you'll never know how much you inspire people and how important you are to the community. So thanks for that and being so talented and amazing people. And I was wondering just curious, if there is one thing that you would radically change about Winterclash, what would be it? And if there's one thing that you'd never touch about Winterclash, what would be that?
Everybody answers?
Yeah.
The first thing who come to my mind was what I would not change, and it's what Nils was talking about before. It's about the last tricks, because I think that's one of the epic signature move of Winterclash that never moved. Because back in the day, you saw that atmosphere that comes for the last tricks, where everybody make a human corridor and you have a very tiny space to go. Winterclash used to be that for all the comp, you know, like it was this during all the comp, and I'm so glad that it remains like this for the last trick. So I would not change that. And what would I change? I gotta think about it. I don't have an answer right now. So somebody wants to answer, maybe I take the mic back afterwards.
Go, Mery.
Nils is like, I'm done. Can someone
I
else
talk
talk?
a lot. That's the problem. No, I, as he's saying, I love the jam session with the best trick. So that will be my never change that, please. If you want to do a line contest as we are doing parallel, I think that's very interesting. But I wouldn't change that for sure. But what would I change? I don't know, because in an idyllic world, yes, maybe more time to train by groups, maybe like specific groups, like girls and junior girls with amateur girls and pro woman in another. I don't know, but if we do that, it's going to be a mess. So I don't know if that's possible, but that's the only thing that, not only for me, maybe more for the young people, that I know a lot of the kids come here and they are like today, no? They are competing right now. And they came this morning and we were skating with them, and I feel a bit sorry for the little girls in the middle. I'm actually a bit worried that I'm going to crash with them, but that's the only thing I will say.
You guys want to go? Same. What did I have in mind? Yeah. Don't change, building up crazy, special, weird obstacles. That's for sure. Where it's like very blading orientated. It's not a skateboard park. It's not a BMX park, but it's very meant for, best skating to kind of happen. The elements are there for different styles, different kinds of skating. And what to change is, maybe more practice time would be nice, of course, because the pro comp is, one of the highlights of the weekend, and it's just sometimes a course like this takes, for some skaters, it would take a few days to really unlock some of the obstacles and chances, just so the level of the show is even way higher and more enjoyable. And maybe, just the prize money a little bit more up and we're good. No, I'm kidding, but
I would like to win Winterclash.
We're all hustling here, so
and be paid for the entire year. That's it. Yeah. I mean, that's the dream. Anyone get any other questions?
Okay, bye.
Oh, Mery, go. No, talk. Don't let me interrupt.
What? I can ask a question.
Sorry, I thought I cut you off. Go for it.
I will say, like, I like when you go all beast mode. Like this year you went to FIS Montpellier and you won like all of them. So yeah, it was curious, like this, like how you diverse your energy through an event like this, because not only skating takes a lot of energy, but socializing and saying hello, so many people. How you manage that, man?
I try to raise the most as I can between events, between interactions. I feel you when you're talking about socializing and stuff like that, and I'm very introverted person. Do you say that? Like I need my alone time and stuff like that, but I'm very grateful and proud of this social time that people coming to me. So I always take it spontaneously with a great pleasure, And when I start, I feel like I'm getting tired and I could be less faking it or whatever. I'm just moving on my side and go take some rest. But it's a good balance. You gotta find the right balance, and so you're just nice to everyone because they're nice to you, and but you don't compromise your potential and anything, your energy. Yeah.
Anyone else get questions, or we wrap it up? Oh, I've got one.
not including all of you here, which skater are you most looking forward to competing against or seeing in Winterclash this year?
I want to see Ana Julia. She's killing it. Who is the one that you want to see most?
Who you want to fight against?
Because the rest, they are here,
Yeah,
so.
Who you want to win this year? Who you want to
Now, what's that like? Who are you the most scared about, or who you want to see more?
That's also a good competition. That's a good question as well. Like, who do you see as like the biggest competition? Who are you like? I need to hope that guy gets injured before the finals. I need to.
I don't know.
I won't say a name, but I can say he's around me right now. I'm just watching.
Mary's currently like, I really wish Chihiro hadn't come this year. I was hoping to get another gold.
No, I think it's nice that, for example, last year Ana Julia was in amateur, and this year she's turning pro. And for me, as a woman that I've been waiting for the level to go up, I'm inspired and I like it. And it's like challenging. And because in the boys, we know more or less who is going to be in the top. And for sure, I want to see Yaro and these boys, but in the terms of future, I think Ana Julia is making a big step in our sport, not only in the female scene, I think in general.
Yeah, it's true. I can't wait as well to see how her skating evolves with her growing, because she's still, she's still very young.
20 years.
Yeah. And she has the street skills too, so that's why I can't wait to see her growing up, because it could be like really, really interesting.
Chihiro, have you got like a favorite skater that you're looking forward to like either seeing or competing against this year?
いやもう毎回ウィンタークラッシュはなんか結構みんな何するかわからないっていうのがすごく楽しみで、だからそういう意味では全員すごく楽しみだし、そうなんか他の大会では見られないような、なんかそんなことするの、そんなところを攻めるのとか、この子こんな技やるんだみたいな、ちょっと多分みんな限界突破してくるから、全員がそういう意味では見るのが楽しみで、でも個人的には一番何するか分かんないのはメリーで、そうなんか女子の限界を一番超えてくる、そのトリックっていうよりかはそれこそトランスファーみたいな、なんかちょっと女子がやりたがらないような、ちょっと本当に怖いことをやるっていう意味ではすごく毎回何するかいい意味で何するか分かんないのがメリーがすごく楽しみ。今年もどんなメリーが見れるのか楽しみ
Basically, another thing that she really likes about Winterclash is that everyone's at top level. So half of the fun is not knowing what someone might basically bring out of the bag all of a sudden. Might not be even someone you've really heard of before. That's one thing she really looks forward to in basically everyone. But in terms of pushing the sport for women in particular, it's Mery. Because you do exactly that. You always come up with something new, like a massive transfer or something that just hasn't been seen yet. So I guess it's both who you're looking forward to and also who you're most afraid of at once. In a good way.
Anyone else get any questions? Oh, there we go.
So you mentioned the park layout and receiving the plans in advance. I was wondering like how much time in advance do you receive the current floor plan to have time to prepare and just get your mind around?
I think it was 1 day before the first chance to skate. I think Wednesday maybe.
Okay.
So yeah,
So not
one evening to kind of look and dream, but that's it. And then you come here and it's all kind of, you need to kind of forget everything and apply to reality, because it's angles and everything is different. But it's still nice to give some sort of vision of the direction where the park is going. So yeah.
Especially since Thursdays when they start to have some stories and you're on the way, so you can start imagining. And it's short of amount of time, but trust me, once I've seen Winterclash Skatepark, it could be 24 hours before I get to skate that. I already think about what I want to do and will probably attempt and do in the finals or in the competition, hopefully final. So yeah, it's just a short amount of time, but it's still a very big part of my process personally of building up my plan for the whole weekend.
That's really impressive because I thought you would get it weeks in advance, but you're getting it like 24 hours before everybody else.
Yes, but it feels like more, you know, because as soon as I say it, it's so close to the actual event that I think about it, 24/7.
Impressive. And one last question. Do you guys ever have input on the layout of the park, either before or after the event? Like, do the organizer ask you, hey, what would you like to see? What would make sense to you?
If we are being asked about what we would like to see on the course?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I never been asked. Personally, no. And I don't think so.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I think they ask on Instagram sometimes to show in, send in sketches and stuff, but you never. It's not a direct input, so you never know if someone's gonna listen to you. So you might pass somebody working for Winterclash and just say them something, but not direct input for sure. They go crazy on their own, yeah.
Right, we have taken up more than enough of their time. I can tell Nils is getting more and more uncomfortable with public speaking. He's like, stop asking me direct questions. Thank you guys very much for coming. Want to thank the panel. Also want to congratulate these two for having a pro skate in the last 12 months. That's unbelievable. And yeah, wish these guys the best. Thanks for coming.